Welcome back to Bale Farm. It's yet another day of baling hay. Tons of busyness with that. We've had a good long, almost dry week. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain. This is the last Sunday of August. And we kind of waited around letting this hay dry. By we, I mean I, because I wanted to have a nice, relaxing day, not having to worry about whether the hay was dry enough. Plus we were doing other things, made a hay delivery so we didn't have to unload wagons in the barn, just took it direct from the wagon to the buyer. That was wonderful. Saved us some work. Saved us probably 2 handlings of stacking it in the barn and then putting it back on a wagon or trailer for somebody else. So in a previous video, at some point, I think it rained, the video where it rained while we were baling hay, I pointed out how the chute was bent. This is the good portion of the chute, up the very back of the machine, but the section that comes right out of the bale chamber was badly bent from the previous owner. And yesterday after delivery, I had Brad drop it off to our favorite local YouTube channel, Bandit Farmer. We don't have a working welder at the farm right now, and Dad wasn't home. He was out selling vegetables, and I don't really know how to weld. I mean, I could figure it out, but I don't know if I could make something that would make a decent weld. So we're about to see what Bandit did for us. From Brad's description, I think he did a lot more than I had planned or needed or thought I would want. But we had 2 big bends. You can see the welds. Look pretty solid, nice and smooth. It was this side that was real bad. Now you can kind of gotta really imagine this, but I think the metal on this, I guess we'll say the left side, is thicker than over here on the right. But this is a chute that can be split in half to make it a 1/4 turn bale chute. And you'd be leaving the thicker side and taking off this thinner metal side. So that's why I think this side is is thicker. Now, this side you can kind of see all the shininess and the welding. This was cracked. And every 10 bales I'd have to stick my foot over here and pull the very back piece of chute to bend this metal up. Which, not that I know much about welding, but it looks good. I think it looks great. Looks like it should be functional. I was only expecting to have this side welded. I didn't think this was going to cause too much issue, but thank you, Bandit. It's wonderful. And we're about to take it out to the field to bale in 3 small fields today. And hopefully make a little bit of second cut hay, along with some first still. I'll probably be making first cut hay if I can find it until end of September. We'll see how motivated I am for hunting down people's overgrown lawns and pastures. Well, we're going to put this back on. I'll take you to the field. Oh, hey, Shiloh. For anybody who wants to see the dog, Shiloh's patrolling, making his rounds, hunting for mice. Well, I guess we're going to throw a bit of a soybean update into our hay baling here. These are the beans Brad planted. They're looking pretty good. If we dive in here real quick, we can see they've got pods on them. And that one's like it'll be a 3 pod. That one will be a 3. Some of the ones at home were trying to be 4s. But the beans are looking good. I sprayed them Friday, so it's Sunday. It's been a couple days. I didn't spray all the long rows. They didn't look so bad. I've seen fields around here that have already been sprayed once that have more weeds than this. It's mainly a couple common ragweeds, and every once in a while there's a foxtail. Not too much fall panicle grass. Well, we're out here baling hay. Brad's here. Baler's here. I raked this hay last night just because I didn't have to deal with doing it today since it's going to rain tomorrow. We've got like 3 little fields to hit up today. So it looks good. We had to cut the bale at the very back of the chamber, so I pulled the rest of it out that's loose. This is what we're baling. Oh yeah. Kind of a bluish greenish color. Looks great, got lots of sun. Brad's getting his drink. I guess he plans on stacking first. So, okay, well, here we go with baling.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, pull out the plug and wet him all over, pull out the plug and wet him all over, pull out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Put him in the scows to the husband, son, he'll put him in the scows to the husband, son, he'll put him in the scows to the husband, son, he'll early in the morning. Way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises. Early in the morning, early in the morning, early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do?
Well, looks like Bandit's welds are holding up really good for us. That's fantastic. Thank you for your welding skills, Bandit. And I'm sure I could cause him all sorts of unwanted business because I don't know if he's in the business of welding things professionally, if he wants to be. But it looks good. Okay, so we're back home. We baled 2 wagon loads already. I made just short of 300 bales. 1 wagon load is out back. I brought home. And hopefully Dad is bringing the other wagon on his way home from selling vegetables and going to church today. Where Brad went out to rake what I didn't get raked last night. Of course, it's also 5 o'clock. So it's less than early. But we'll get it done. The hay's been cut for 5 days. It'll be dry. I don't have worries about baling with too much dew because it's so dry here in the driveway. Now we rode it till this bit of the garden up because we thought we'd try to plant something late, but it's so dry. Like, we got some free potatoes. Local food bank, someone gave them seed potatoes. Thought they could use them. Now the problem is those potatoes have had an insecticide put on them and they can't distribute them out. So we were going to plant them to see if they'd grow. It was free seed. However, none of them have eyes on them yet. While we're at it, the peppers and the cabbage in the raised bed are doing well, except for the bugs on the cabbage. There's a little colored pepper down there. Peppers are loving the dryness. Let's take a look at our hay over here. This is the first hay we baled today. And it ended with the second hay. It's almost white or blue. And then this front stuff is someone's lawn mix, essentially. Ryegrass, bluegrass. Nice and soft and fluffy. Just take a nap on it. So good. And I'd pretty much call it second cut. And the other wagon is all of this nice fluffy stuff. This stuff is nice and soft too. Okay, so I gotta get the round baler out. We're gonna have Dad round bale some of this last field for me since Brad and I are still gonna be making squares. So I gotta fish the round baler out. Bale with a 14 again, unfortunately. Now, wouldn't this just be a sight? Round bale with the TC. Not really. I just gotta pull it out of the barn, block it up. Unfortunately, there's bad news on the 1086. You can't get the 3-point to lift anything. So that leaves us that, well, one more cheap, I guess they actually start fixing part now, or past diagnosing. If it won't lift 3-point and won't do anything with the hydraulics, it's probably the hydraulic pump for all that stuff. The only cheap fix we can try next is there's an O-ring on the suction tube that maybe that's letting a lot of air in, and you know, that's a couple $1 fix for the O-ring plus the time of getting the transmission. If we get down to the pump, well then it's a bit more in depth than I hoped for. So good thing we have the 14 to save the day. Best impulse buy I ever had.